Welcome back to the channel, guys. Hope you are all doing really well today. So first and foremost, guys, this video is going to be about The Athletic and the daily transfer sheet that they have released today. There's a few snippets in there that are Liverpool related. It's written by James Pearce and David Ornstein, so we'll go into that. There's a few players that have been mentioned within the past, mainly Zubimendi, and the positions that Liverpool could be selling and also buying for. So question of this video for you guys is, what is the priority for you transfer wise for Liverpool going into 2025? Before we go any further, guys, I want to give you all a quick reminder to like this video. It helps the channel out a lot with the whole algorithm thing. Subscribe to the channel if you are new here, and as I said just then, question of the video, what is Liverpool's priority for 2025? So guys, first and foremost then, let's get into it. The first one I want to talk to you about is probably this Trent Alexander-Arnold update we've got from them. And it basically says here that, you know, Liverpool are trying to renew Trent Alexander-Arnold's contract, but so far there's no agreement in place. There is a strong interest from Spain. Real Madrid's interest is well documented, plus other countries. From January, he can agree a pre-contract with clubs abroad. Liverpool would like to keep hold of him, but there is an ongoing live situation that will need to be decided in 2025 or sooner. Well, I would prefer if it were sooner, not going to lie. And there's no clear picture of the outcome right now, which is fair enough. They're not lying, it is what it is. Me personally, guys, if I'm going to be perfectly honest with you all, I kind of fully expect Trent is the one that we're going to lose out of the three of them. I'm hoping that all three still sign. I really am, but I don't know. Like, I kind of feel like he may have already made his mind up. I don't know. I'll have to just wait and see what happens with it, won't we, guys? So yeah, we'll have to, like I say, we'll have to just wait and see what happens. So next one we've got coming up is the Zubimendi. So it says that Liverpool's admiration for Zubimendi remains strong. The Anfield hierarchy believe he came under pressure from Real Sociedad to stay put at his boyhood club when he U-turned, having initially indicated that he was keen on completing the switch. So again, Zubimendi is one of those players that I've kind of thought Liverpool may go back in for, but with Ryan Gravenberch's form, Zubimendi would not go straight into that starting 11 for me anyway. He'd have to earn his spot. And I kind of also think Liverpool would have to move on Endo as well before they actually started thinking about signing Zubimendi. I really do. It's just one of those things that Liverpool always have to do, and it's always a case of being, buy to sell. So then, yeah, next one we've got coming on is this one regarding the centre-backs, saying that Liverpool will once again consider their options at centre-back. Again, it goes without saying, it makes sense, of course they are, especially with the whole Van Dijk situation, Gomez nearly moving on in the summer, Konate potentially going to be getting a new deal, so a lot of that probably relies on what happens with Van Dijk and whether or not if we do move on Joe Gomez, who's Liverpool's longest serving player. So that's that for the tweets. What I'm going to do now, and I can't show you this, guys, is because it's behind a paywall, obviously, is I'm going to go through a bit of the article itself and we'll actually see what else is mentioned. So let's go into that now. So they say here, what positions will they be looking at in 2025? And they say that it depends on Van Dijk's salary and Trent. Trying to replace any of those influential figures could be both difficult and expensive. It goes without saying. They've already signed Mamadashvili to come in as a goalkeeper. They're going to consider their options at centre-back as well, which we've just covered. They had interest in Lena Yoro, but the French defender wanted guarantees about playing time and instead moved to Man United. Liverpool would have to replace Gomez if he does decide to pursue a new challenge. The club's longest serving player opted to stay put last summer after seeing a move to Newcastle fall through, but his game time this year has been limited. Signing a holding midfielder was Liverpool's priority last summer, but their sole target, Zubimendi, turned down a move to Anfield. Gravenberch has excelled in the holding role so far this season, but another option in midfield would certainly be useful with Endo turning 32 in February, and the Japanese international not being an ideal suit to Arne Slot's brand of football. Left back is another area where Liverpool could potentially strengthen in 2025. Robbo will be 31 in March, and his current deal only runs until the summer of 2026, so he'll be in the same situation this time next year as Trent, Salah and Van Dijk. It remains to be seen whether the Scottish captain will earn an extension. Tsimikas, 28, has impressed at times this season, but isn't a long-term successor. I think we have been linked with a few left-backs. Altonore over at Wolves, Milos Kerkez at Bournemouth was the most recent one, so probably the one to keep an eye on. Is there any players they are already looking at? Zubimendi had the perfect profile in terms of what Slot is looking for as a number 6. They didn't pursue an alternative in August because they felt they had no one else who could offer the same skill set. Their admiration for him remains strong. The talk about the bit we've just mentioned previously. Mamouche. So it says here that Liverpool have been strongly linked with him, but senior club sources who asked to remain anonymous to protect relationships have dismissed suggestions that they have made contact with Frankfurt about a possible move. The Bundesliga sporting director has also denied that any discussions have taken place. Who could they be selling? Kelleher is probably the most likely to be sold, given that he will be down to the final year of his contract coming this summer. So again, he's in the same situation as Robbo for next year. The Republic of Ireland international is desperate to become a number 1 after serving a long-term apprenticeship as Alisson's deputy. And despite his outstanding form during Alisson's absence due to injury, Kelleher knows that it's unlikely to happen at Anfield, with Mamardashvili arriving as well. He has wanted to leave for the past 2 summers, but stayed put as Liverpool didn't receive an offer that came close to recognising his value. Alisson has said that he intends to stay put beyond this season, despite the signing of Mamardashvili. However, it remains to be seen whether that stance changes if he's presented with another contract offer from Saudi. The Brazilian, whose current deal runs until 2026 with an option of an extra 12 months, has turned down strong interest from Saudi in the past. So that kind of goes with what I've been saying for the past few months or so on the AKM live streams on the Monday. Come and join us. That Kelleher and Alisson are probably the 2 ones that I could see leaving next year. You know, you've gone out, you signed Mamardashvili. He's not going to want to come in and sit on the bench. Kelleher wants to leave. Alisson has picked up some pretty bad injuries the last 2 seasons. I think Alisson's the best keeper in the world, I really do, but I just can't see Mamardashvili coming and sit on the bench, guys. I really, really can't. So I think next year you're probably looking at Mamardashvili as your number 1 and that Jaros as the backup. That's what I can see happening there. We know who will be making the decisions. PSR. So, Liverpool are in a strong and better position than most of their Premier League rivals. The key figure is that the last set of accounts, which showed a 9 million pre-tax loss, and that external debt had increased to 123 million, was in fact the wage bill to income ratio standing at 62%. It shows that in recent years, Liverpool have moved on high-earning players at the right time, and that's important because new rules limit any club competing in one of the 3 European competitions to spending no more than 70% of overall revenue on players' wages, transfers and agent fees by 25-26. So maybe that's why there's a lot of discussion going on about these contracts, because they've only got 8% to play with. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? The next set of accounts will show how Liverpool performed in a year without Champions League, and the cost of rebuilding the squad with Thiago, Matip, Henderson, Firmino, Fabinho, Keita, Chamberlain, Milner all leaving, and Liverpool signing Maka, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai and Endo. What sort of budget do Liverpool have? It should be sizable, given that Liverpool are guaranteed a big windfall from being back in the Champions League this season. They also have a lucrative new kit sponsor deal starting with Adidas ahead of next season. You know, like I've said this before, again, they're getting more money from Adidas than they would be from Nike, otherwise they wouldn't have left the Nike deal. After missing out on Zubimendi last summer, Liverpool only spent 10 million on the signing of Chiesa from Juve, which we know most of that cost was covered by the money we got from Solanke going to Spurs from Bournemouth. So we didn't really spend any money last summer. Money is certainly there for the right player, but recent history shows they won't splash the cash unless they are convinced that it makes long-term sense. And then just lastly, touches on the manager's priorities, and they just said it's a bit too soon to say. You know, all hinges on whether they need to go out and sign a match-winning attacker, a talismanic centre-back, and a dynamic right-back. Basically, depending on what happens with the three players whose contracts is up, depends on what Liverpool's priorities will be, which right now does make a fair bit of sense in my opinion. So then guys, that's it for this video. Let me know down below what you think of all of this. Give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and again, the question of this video is, what are your transfer priorities for Liverpool for 2025? I'll catch you in the next one, guys.